It's now time for the 1017 The Team High School Football Halftime Show with Austin Denton. Take it away, Austin.
And we are back here live from Newsenda Community Stadium. It is our Larry H. Miller Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Game of the Week. And you're now listening to the Newsenda Credit Union Halftime Show. Now you can pay with Lobo Pride. Stop by any Newsenda Credit Union branch to get your new UNM Lobos credit and debit cards. Getting your card is simple and free. Visit newsenda.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Opportunity. Let's go ahead and go over the first half stats as we bring you into the halftime show. I'm your host, Austin Denton. Let's first take a look at the leaders in the contest. The Atrisco Heritage Jaguars, they currently lead the Rio Grande Ravens 20-0 here from Community Stadium. Atrisco has had their fair share of their bad drives, but they've also had ones that have been very successful. They've had 3 that have ended up so far in turnover on downs, but they've also had 3 that have ended up in touchdowns. So far they've been able to get the ball downfield and score it on the Ravens, which has been a big factor for them. So far, for Carlos Salazar, the quarterback for Atrisco Heritage, he's 3 of 6 for 85 yards and a touchdown. He had that big 65-yard pass to Jesus Jimenez, and that put Jesus Jimenez on the board in terms of receiving, even though he's normally a running back, which is a good thing that you can be well-rounded and also be catching some passes, so that's good for Jesus Jimenez as well. Carlos Salazar also has 12 carries for 41 yards and has only been sacked 1 time, which has been good. That means Atrisco Heritage's front line has been blocking. Jordan Marquez has also been getting his fair share of carries, 9 carries for 43 yards so far for Marquez. Gonzalez is getting his carries as well, 6 carries for 25 yards for him. And Jesus Jimenez, just like we mentioned, he has 3 carries, but in the negative yardage, he has negative 7 yards. In the receiving column, Vallejos for Atrisco. I was thinking of Alejandro Vallejos from Mazano. What am I thinking? He's already graduated. But for Vallejos for Atrisco, he currently has a catch for 7 yards, and Montano also getting on the board for Atrisco. He has a catch for 13 yards, and like we had mentioned for Jesus Jimenez, he has that touchdown catch that went for 65 yards. Now, if I'm Coach Patrick Johnson, I'm thinking you might want to pass the ball a little bit more because Carlos Salazar kind of showed off that he had a cannon in that 65-yard pass to Jimenez, and he's been showing off his arm a little bit on the pass attempts that has been so maybe Salazar will be throwing the ball a little bit more in the first half. We're not sure, but I think it might be a good idea for him because Salazar has proven so far that he can throw the ball long distances that they need it. It's been a whole nother story for the Rio Grande Ravens, who have already had themselves a monumental season, but obviously nothing doing for them so far on all of their drives. Let's just go over the summarization of each drive. Fake punt, no good on the first drive. Punt, 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 and a turnover on down. So right now the Ravens haven't been really able to get much going on offense. It's pretty much all just been what they've been able to do defensively, as they've been able to hold Atrisco defensively on some of their stops, but their offense hasn't been able to capitalize on the defensive stops that Rio Grande has been able to make some night so far. He's been getting the ball thrown well. He's 6 of 16 for 53 yards so far. He has been sacked 4 times though, so Atrisco Heritage has been doing well on that front, meaning that Rio Grande's offensive line may need to catch up on some of the blocking there, as he has been sacked or negative with a carry for 3 yards. Cruz Bolivar has 2 catches for 12 yards, and Mario Armendariz with 3 catches for 41 yards. So that's kind of the summarization so far. And Rio Grande has also had quite a few penalties in terms of the unsportsmanlike conducts. We saw that pretty early on in the first quarter, where the Ravens were getting called for these unsportsmanlike pretty much for the play, which if you're a coach, that players to be performing at the point of emphasis in the talks with Dennis Manitis and the Ravens. When we come back, we'll go over some scores across the state of New Mexico, and we'll bring in Coach Williams for our first half analysis. Back in a moment on the Newsender Credit Union Halftime Show, ESPN Radio 1017, The Team. All right, guys, I'm now being joined down on the field by head coach Patrick Johnson of the Atrisco Heritage Jaguars. Coach, obviously you guys were seeking your first win with this game, and you got it tonight, and especially a big one on homecoming night. Just talk about the preparation and the motivation you guys were bringing into this game and to get this win against Rio Grande.
Yeah, well, it was a good game for us. We had a good couple weeks of practice and got these guys refocused, and we came out and played a good game. And Rio Grande played a good game. They're a program on the rise. So.
Definitely. And Carlos Salazar was making an impact, and he actually was doing pretty well throwing the ball, but obviously you guys are that triple option team, so you guys do like to run the ball. Just talk about Salazar's performance as well as Marquez's performance as they both were running the ball efficiently for you guys.
Yeah, Carlos is really taken to the option. He reads it really well. He runs it extremely well, and we're real pleased with his development this year, and he throws a good ball, so that kind of makes us a dual threat, which we haven't been in a few years.
Definitely, and going into the next couple of weeks, you're heading into a very tough district, and it's going to be filled with a lot of challenges. So talk about your guys' preparation heading into what is going to be a very tough district schedule.
It is. We know it's a tough district, and we're glad we could get this win and get a little momentum behind us, and hopefully these players start believing, and maybe we can make a little noise in the district. So we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, Coach, for joining me. Go celebrate the win. Congratulations on your first win of the season.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and you guys have a good night.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was Coach Patrick Johnson of the Atrisco Heritage Jaguars. Now back to you, Scott.